Greetings from South Korea. I am Arirang News AI anchor. Here is the news-making headlines today. President Lee Jae-myung was briefed by the Science Ministry on Friday on its technology vision for next year, as part of government ministries' back-to-back policy briefings. He vowed full support, saying that science and technology are the foundation of the nation's prosperity. He called for the need to invest more in science and technology, vowing to undo the budget cut for the R&D sector by the previous administration. In 2026, a record high of 35 trillion won, worth over $24 billion, will be allocated for R&D. Following the massive personal data breach at South Korean e-commerce giant Coupang, President Lee Jae-myung has called for tougher financial penalties against companies responsible for such leaks. Speaking at a policy briefing by the Personal Information Protection Commission on Friday, President Lee said sanctions should be strong enough to make companies fear they could go out of business. Under current regulations, companies can be fined up to 3% of their total revenue for data breaches, calculated based on the average revenue over the past 3 years. Lee suggested imposing penalties based on the highest revenue during that period, rather than the 3-year average. In response, the Commission's chairperson said they are considering raising fines up to 10% of revenue in cases of repeated serious violations. Import prices in South Korea rose at their fastest pace in 19 months in November, even as global oil prices declined. New data from the Bank of Korea on Friday shows that a weaker Korean won played a central role in driving costs higher. According to the preliminary figures, the import price index climbed 2.6% on month in November. That is an acceleration from the 1.9% increase recorded in October and marks the sharpest monthly gain since April 2024 when the index jumped 3.8%. It's also the 5th straight month of rising import prices. Higher import costs flow directly into production expenses and can eventually push up consumer prices across the supply chain. That dynamic is likely to influence the central bank's outlook as it monitors inflation and currency stability heading into the new year. Visitors to the National Museum of Korea have surpassed 6 million so far this year, marking the highest annual attendance since its founding. The milestone pushes its cumulative visitor count past 100 million and positions the museum as the world's 4th most visited in the 2025 global rankings, following the Louvre, the Vatican Museums, and the British Museum. The museum credits innovative exhibitions and youth-focused programs, as well as a strong performance from its merchandise line, for its growing public appeal. South Korean entertainment giant HYBE has ranked 4th in Billboard's top promoters category. According to Billboard's 2025 year-end box score charts on Friday, HYBE earned roughly $469 million, or around 691 billion Korean won, from world tours over the past year. Thanks to tours from 17, BTS J-Hope, and ENHYPEN, HYBE held 213 shows and drew 3.3 million fans. In Billboard's top tours chart, Stray Kids became the only K-pop act in the global top 10, landing at number 10 with $185 million and 1.3 million fans attending their Dominate World Tour. 17 followed at 17th, J-Hope 32nd, and ENHYPEN 37th. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.